Hi, this is Mike Brown, owner of Death Wish Coffee Company. Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast.
I love Jeff, but sweet and hot. Whoop, Mr. Motorama coffee spot.
Death Wish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast. With your hosts, the incredible Jeff and the amazing D-Man.
It's that time again of the week. I love this time.
You're too excited,
everybody.
Jeff.
I'm excited. Welcome, everybody. It's Fueled by Death Show. I like being excited. For you guys keeping track at home, this is a companion show to episode 79, and we'll get to the guest this week a little bit later on in the show. We're very happy that you all could join us yet again for the Fueled by Death Show. We really like doing this, and I really enjoy doing it at our new prime time slot.
Your whole positive outlook right now is really just raining on my grumpy. I'm trying to stay negative here, and you're just a beam of light shining on my darkness. I don't really like it.
No, I will try to get.
You're killing my bad vibes today, dude.
I will try to get more angry as the show goes on. Only time will tell. I am, to put it all out there, the incredible Jeff.
And I'm D-Man.
Yeah. And if you guys can follow us on social media, that'd be really cool. We love new followers on social media. Our social media of choice is Instagram because we get to show you things. But we Facebook and Twitter, too. It's really easy to follow us. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
That easy. And at the top of the show, let's shout out our good friend, Brock Powell.
BrockVox.com.
That's the one. Brock is the voice behind all the voices on this show, 1,000 other in the world. Seriously, follow him on all social media as well, at BrockVox. He's doing so many cool things this year. I love following his career. The other day, he posted a photo of him and Mark Hamill.
Oh, that's so cool.
In a voice booth. It's
oh,
just
man.
Like,
Mark Hamill's one of the best voice actors out there.
His Joker is just warms my heart. Love it.
So good.
So good. And it's great that he gets to work with Brock.
Yeah.
'Cause Brock is so
I mean,
good.
eventually, Brock one day will be the next Mark Hamill.
Yes.
He'll be Luke Skywalker.
He will be. They're going to reboot Star Wars someday, and it'll be Brock as Luke Skywalker.
I would love to see that.
Me too.
Brock, get on it.
Yeah. This week, guys, if you're just tuning in, you know the drill. We're giving away a mug. And to follow suit of the last couple shows, this week we're giving away the Death Wish 2018 Hammer Mug.
This is a great mug.
Yeah.
And, I see its time on this world dwindling down. Eventually, we'll be running into 2019 with a 2019 mug. And we'll reminisce about this mug and be like, man, remember that awesome Hammer mug in 2018?
Yeah.
How did I miss out on that? Well, you know what? Don't. Make a comment, share this episode, and you could get one for free. And Jeff and I will even sign this thing.
Yeah, I know you don't want that. You're like, but we'll do it anyways.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. But it's one of my morning mugs. I love the wideness of it. It fits a ton of coffee. And I love this style. We were the first one to do this style this year. I know now Deneen has opened it up to other people. But,
Well, we keep on forcing up the vaults of Deneen to come out with new designs like this one, and we'll have some surprises in the upcoming future as well.
For sure.
But man, this is so cool.
And all you got to do is share this episode and drop a comment. And at the end, after the show is over, one of you lucky commenters will get chosen, and we will send this mug directly to you.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
This week on deathwishcoffee.com, if you type in the discount code BEANS, Jeff.
BEANS.
That'll get you 15% off of the beans. And by that, I mean Death Wish 1 pound whole bean, Death Wish 5 pound whole bean, Valhalla Java 12 ounce whole bean, and Valhalla Java 5 pound whole bean. If you use the code word BEANS, you'll get 15% off of any of those things.
My beans!
Jeff, that's a weird discount code.
It
kind
is.
of. Why is it beans?
It's beans because we want you guys to enjoy the beans.
I mean, beans is the better way to go, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it comes it's so fresh. I mean, if you grind up coffee ahead of time, it's sitting in that bag, going from place to place.
Yeah.
just kind of losing all those delicious flavors. But with whole bean, you crack that little bean open, and all the flavors just burst open into your cup and into your face and caffeinate you throughout the day. It's wonderful.
It is wonderful. We do want you guys to enjoy the beans, and we know a lot of you are the whole bean drinker out there, so this is a great discount for you going all the way to Wednesday, June 27th. But as you'll find out later in this episode, it also coincides with our guest this week, who happens to be a musician going by the name of Beans on Toast.
He's British.
Yeah, but we'll get to him later. But once again, guys, use that discount code all week long, 15% off of all of our whole bean varieties right on our website.
Science!
All right, D-Man. So science this week, going to space again. Been lots of cool news coming from space, and this one is actually from something we've talked about a lot on this show, and it's seeing new life in this spacecraft, which is nice. And that, of course, is what I'm talking about, is the Kepler spacecraft. Now, the Kepler mission has started its 18th observing campaign, and it's already finding results. On May 12th, NASA's planet-hunting spacecraft, Kepler, began its campaign called K2. For the next 82 days from then, Kepler will stare at clusters of stars, faraway galaxies, and a handful of solar system objects, including comets.
Yeah.
They'll look at comments.
Don't look at comments. Do
Yeah.
not look at the comments. I know in my experience, you just don't look at the comments.
Right.
Especially on YouTube. Jesus, those guys are brutal.
Including comets, objects beyond Neptune, and an asteroid close to Earth. Kepler's spacecraft is expected to run out of fuel in just a few months, so this is like its last hurrah. And what's interesting is this is actually the same region of sky that the spacecraft observed in 2005. The idea is to further identify the exoplanets it found for the first time and then hopefully find new ones. And even though this looks like it's a drawing from a child, it's not. This is actually from NASA, and this is just a good graphic to kind of show you.
It's on purpose, right? They're not.
Yeah, it's on purpose, but it shows you the field of view that Kepler's looking at. And all of the different things that it's looking at, like the Beehive cluster and the King Cobra cluster, and all of these cool areas of the sky that we have found exoplanets in, but there might be more that we haven't seen.
Well, it's crazy how much, it wasn't that long ago before we thought that we were the only habitable planet in the universe.
Right.
And now we realize that there's hundreds and thousands, tens of thousands, possibly millions, possibly planets that we can exist on, that we can live on, that we could make a new home, that we might need to make a new home in the future. And the search starts here.
Yeah, and it's really cool. So they've already started to find stuff. So here's the thing. The first thing they found was a handful of new exoplanets around 2 new planetary systems. The first was around a star 160 light years away, and they found 3 Earth-sized exoplanets kind of in that Goldilocks zone around that star. The second system they found is 228 light years away, with 2 exoplanets roughly double the size of Earth. So these are super Earths, as they're called. And what's neat is so they found these with using the Kepler spacecraft, and now we can use many more things like telescope arrays on the ground to delve into what these exoplanets actually are, their makeup, their atmospheric condition, that kind of thing. And that's including the ESO Plato telescope array and the ESA Espresso telescope array, which is a nice name for it, Espresso. And as we said before, is we think that they come up with the name and then they work backwards to make it work.
They did it.
And the Espresso telescope array actually stands for the Eschel Spectrograph for Rocky Exoplanet and Stable Spectroscopic Observations.
Wow.
Espresso.
They're making up words now.
Yeah. It's really cool, though. Since 2009, when Kepler was launched into the universe, astronomers have identified over 2,000 planets around various stars out there. And that's really cool when you really think about it.
Yeah.
And I have a video to show you guys directly from NASA that breaks down, this is actually from last year, and is breaking down some of the findings from last year, but it shows you just how hard Kepler is working. And like I said, that video was just a little over a year old now, but we're still finding new stuff, and it's just incredible space exploration and the boon we're getting in recent years about what we can actually find out there, because the technology is finally catching up to the science fiction ideas that these scientists have had for so long. We can actually look at these planets in depth that are hundreds of light years away, which is just incredible. It also found 121 giant gas planets. And the idea behind that now is to start looking deeper at the moons of these gas planets. Lead author Michelle Hill, who is an undergraduate student at the University of Southern Queensland, said rather than looking to new exoplanets in the ongoing pursuit to find life outside of Earth, the new tactic instead looked at whether these giant exoplanets had large rocky moons. There are potentially a lot more moons than there are Earth-sized planets. So this research means there could be double the number of possibly habitable worlds out there in the habitable zone, which what that means is that Earth-like planets might not be the first place we find signs of life.
So that's weird. So like the moons of Jupiter, there could be life. I mean,
Right.
I think we found water on Titan.
We did, and just recently, just last week, they published a paper that we recently found organic material on Ceres, one of the moons. And now, after looking even closer through telescopes and that kind of stuff, we're finding that there's a hell of a lot more organic material than we thought on that moon. And again,
Crazy.
organic material, like when I'm saying like that, it's like traces of carbon, it's traces of that kind of thing. So we're not finding life, but again, we're finding the building blocks of life on a rocky moon. That's the premise of looking at these 121 exoplanets out there and seeing what their moons are and maybe if they could support any kind of habitable life.
That's kind of weird that that's a possibility. I would think that you would need a planet in a Goldilocks zone orbiting a sun-like star.
True, but I mean, it's been in science fiction forever, and if you didn't think I was not going to bring up Star Wars, you're crazy. But I mean, if you go to
Space Force?
if you go to Star Wars, Endor, where the Ewoks live, that's a moon. Mm-hmm. And it was fully habitable. And that's just one example from science fiction. But the idea is that you have a huge gas giant like Jupiter, or some of these gas giants that are 3, 4, 10 times the size of Jupiter. A moon orbiting that might have its own atmosphere, might have its own ecosystem on.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about how would that moon experience weather if it's being shaded from a sun-like star.
The weather might be crazy. It might get think like Alaska. It might have like 6 months or half of its year.
Think
could be
10
in
times Alaska for 100 years.
Right.
It's not seeing the sun at
Right.
100 years span, and it drops 1,000 degrees below zero, and nothing can live there. I mean,
Right.
I just don't see the possibility of being able to live on a moon rather than a planet because of the way it orbits around it. I mean, this is my very basic I am no scientist, but if a scientist says, "Bitch, we're gonna get on a moon," and that's great, and I'm like, okay,
Right. I think it's just cool because like scientists, I think, agree with you. They're like, this is a left field idea.
Yeah.
But we have the technology to be able to really peer at these moons a little bit closer, so why not? Who knows what we could find? We keep finding things in the universe that just 5, 10, 50 years ago, everybody was like, that will never happen.
Yeah.
And we're finding these things that are like, just kidding, haha.
Yeah.
Like we're finding stars orbiting black holes. Like that should have never happened, and we are now. And it's
Yeah.
like, so the universe is vast. Who knows what we could happen? What's really cool about this idea of looking closer at these moons is that these follow-up studies will directly influence and help create future telescope designs. So our next generation of telescopes will be able to really look at the exomoons that much more closely. I think that's really cool.
It's very cool, and I like that they have an open mind. I'd like to know more about the possibilities of a habitable moon, though. That just seems...
I think
Just
we're
seems
gonna
so crazy.
we're gonna learn together because
Yeah.
they're literally starting to amass that data as we're talking.
Well, I refuse to learn, and I'm going to keep a closed mind about it. I believe one thing, you can't sway me.
All
'Cause
right,
I'm a stubborn donkey person.
all right. Well, space is awesome.
I think they call those asses. I'm
They
an
do.
ass.
They do.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm an ass.
All right. All right, guys, it's time for Death Star of the Week, that segment where we get to shine the spotlight on one of the awesome community members out there, like one of you guys, and the rest of you get to meet them for the first time. And this week, we were joined by one of the community members who's been a fan of this company for a very long time and just so happens to be local, so we got him in here. And, of course, I'm talking of CJ Mann. And... we even got more of a special guest because he brought his daughter Kirra.
So
along.
cute. That's so
And
cute.
we had a really good time. And if you don't know CJ Mann, he is, again, one of the admins over on the official Death Wish Coffee Company page on Facebook, the Facebook fan group. And if you've never met him, you're going to meet him and his daughter Kirra right now. And I want to hear from you, CJ. How did you hear about Death Wish Coffee for the first time?
My first time hearing about Death Wish Coffee was actually at Saratoga Coffee Traders when they were trying to find out, the world's strongest coffee, and Mike was asking everybody, hey, everybody would walk in and tell Mike, oh yeah, I'm looking for a really strong cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Were you one of those people?
oh yeah, absolutely, I love a good strong cup of coffee, and it is the only coffee I have ever been able to have where it was black. That's kind of got me on drinking it black without sugar. So that was definitely my first time there. Now this one, on the other hand,
You much of a coffee drinker, Kirra?
I mean, sort of.
Yeah?
How do you take it?
I like sugar and creamer.
Wow. All right.
All right. I think that's good. Start them out young. So you're local, which is cool. So you were able to check out the company, as it kind of grew from that basement. When's the first time as a local that you kind of thought maybe this is gonna take off? Did you see that happen? Did you see that happen?
I mean, I probably wasn't around, but yeah, I probably did. I don't remember. I know he's probably. I know that he's been with the company since like 2012 or something.
oh really? Right in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
We from the first time I had it, I knew it was going to be something, but the community that was behind it,
Yeah.
and even back when it first started, you had Taya, Scott, Mike, John, like the people that are there, like just walking into Coffee Traders alone at that time, before everything else, everybody that was there was pushing for it. And not only does the coffee sell itself, but the people and how they carry themselves it's huge. It's tremendous. It's something you don't experience anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that, again, I've been a trooper 17 years, and I'm very active, as you guys have seen many times. I don't know when to shut up sometimes.
Obviously.
But I always looked not only for something that, being a local business, I wanted something that was good and something that had flavor. So once it came out, I started bringing it to work, and guys would be like, "Well, where did you get that coffee?" And I'd be like, "Oh, Coffee Traders." At one point, I was picking up. Nobody would come up and get it themselves. I would come back to the station. I'd have like 21-pound bags of coffee, and I was doing that twice a week, bringing it for everybody at the station, stopping in. Scott started laughing. He's like, well, why don't we just give it to you? I'm like, no, I got it. I walk out with boxes and cases. And so
I've
they
been
call
to
me a
the
Death Wish
trips.
guy at work.
So speak a little bit about the job. You are a New York State Trooper. I have to imagine, especially with the hours that you guys keep, coffee must be a staple for troopers.
Oh, absolutely. The running joke, everybody says, oh, yeah, I go to Dunkin' Donuts, and it's the donuts. But, I don't think people really think about it from this perspective as a trooper or as any police officer, first aid, EMS, first responder. We're up all hours of the night. What places are open? Denny's. Most people don't even have them around.
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
All the different gas stations.
Right.
It's really not a lot, so you usually end up having to stay up and you're working all the time. So coffee is, most of the people at the station, even if they don't like coffee, they're finding some kind of tea or something that keeps them awake. For me, and for a lot of the guys at our stations especially, we work so many details between manhunts, security details, you name it, and you have to. It's not like your head's tilted back and you're not doing anything.
Right.
You got to be ready at a moment's notice.
Right.
So the coffee part and doing everything, it was huge for me. I've got ADHD, so for me it kind of leveled me out, which is another good thing, and finding a good coffee that wasn't bitter, that I could drink and enjoy all day, and I didn't have to have a cup every 20 seconds, was huge. So that, for me, it was great.
That's awesome.
And then, as we all know, how hyper this one gets. So.
And I don't pay attention.
Aw.
Even though I still get good grades in school. And tonight I'm going to an honor roll dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then after we eat, then we go to dance party.
Whoa.
Dang.
Well, okay, Kirra. What is your favorite music to dance to?
Well, my favorite song is probably. This is a hard one because I like a lot of songs.
All
How
right.
about your favorite dance move? Could you show us?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Dad, I need you to move so I can spin. Okay. My favorite dance move is obviously the floss.
Nice! Oh my god, you're so good at that.
That's my favorite one. And my second favorite one is a Fortnite dance called Take the L, which is basically,
I know Fortnite.
Fortnite is the best game ever. It's taking the world by storm.
It is.
Pun intended.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about coffee preference.
Coffee.
What you drink it all the day, especially on the job. What's your favorite way to brew?
I like the French press. Obviously, I don't have enough time at work to do that all the time. Same thing with the Chemex. I don't have a lot of time to do it. I'll actually use the refillable K-Cups, as well as Death Wish K-Cups are probably the best K-Cups I've ever had. I won't drink the other K-Cups. I'll refill a cup if I'm using something different. But Death Wish is the only ones that I can actually use your K-Cups. Again, just the way they're brewed, it always tastes like there's a fresh cup. And that's another way I get a lot of the guys at work to taste it. I'm like, just try it once. And John explained a lot of the science behind it, which there is science behind coffee.
Totally.
And every time I come in, I look forward to those conversations with John, especially if there's something new coming out, because he takes the time to. It's not just, okay, we're going to box it and put it out there. There's a lot of testing and a lot of other things that come through. And that's huge to me. So, again, I hate to say this, but most coffee, even Dunkin' Donuts or all these other places, the coffee's always burnt. A lot of the other K-Cups that I've had, again, it always tastes burnt or stale. And as somebody who enjoys the coffee, I looked for that. And bringing it into the guys at work, we do have a lot of coffee connoisseurs at work, and they'll put a K-Cup in. They'll be like, "Oh, I stopped using the Kirra because." I'm like, "Just try it. So all I'm asking you to do is try it." And,
Just do it.
Exactly. And they do. They're like, "This is great." They're like, "I can't drink any other coffee now." So I guess I'm their coffee supplier.
I mean, who would drink any other coffee?
Right?
Well played.
Right.
That's right.
I also know that both of you are a big fan of a lot of what we produce here outside of just the coffee, including the mugs. I know you both are mug collectors. Do either of you have a favorite mug in your collection?
2 favorites.
All right.
My first mug was the Little Devil, and my 2 favorite mugs are Beaster Bunny and Teddy Bear.
Ah, cool.
My favorites.
I got a ton of mugs, and as we all have seen.
Do you have a full collection?
No.
You don't have a full collection.
I had.
You're close though.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I had full collections. I had all the original mugs, and had an incident where an ex destroyed them all. So I lost a lot of.
It was horrible. Sadness. R.I.P.
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff packed, and I at that time had them all packed. I was getting ready to put them into a cabinet, and they came to pick their stuff up, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, the dropped was an understatement. But yeah.
But since then, you've kind of gotten your collection back up to.
Yeah, I've gotten my collection back. I've had a lot of help from again, the community's been huge.
Me too.
Yeah, Kirra's been very good with it too. I got a lot of friends and family that I met through the coffee community, through the Death Wish fan page, and Gail and Tom, and I mean I can go on with a million names, and it is a family. Like somebody will call and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this."
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "All right, let me see what I can do." And then 5 minutes later, I'm opening up my front porch, and there's a box there that randomly is from somebody. So I've got a lot of favorites too. Jamie Robinson made me a mug back for the first Run Dead that looks like it's a T-shirt being ripped off, almost like the Superman style.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jamie and I have come up with different ideas as your mugs and other people's mugs that we've made for them. It's that camaraderie. Jason Heath, he was etching them. And,
Yeah.
I love seeing a lot of the art talent and stuff. So I got a ton of favorite mugs.
That's good.
I mean, the short answer.
That's a good thing. Then it's not just one.
And a lot of them are sentimental. I've gotten gifts from Gail, or and I'm sure we've all here. I got Gail, pumpkin ale mug. To me, for a lot of people, there was very few made. So for them, it's important for that reason. For me, it has been for the last 2 years one of the key raffle items that we've come up with that has made $10,000 plus. Of us just raffling it off. So to me, it holds a special part. So I took my own, and that was a decision that her and I made. Was hey, we have one. Let's see what we can help other people with.
Yeah.
So we take, and I might never see it again at that point, which I do. I did have Paul Hempel reached out for me, and I finally got that one back in my collection. So that would probably be one that I hold dear. The Dropkick Murphys mug was huge. Obviously, we all seen my Irish cap. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, and again, I went to the show with John and a bunch of the crew
Yeah.
from production, and we had a blast. So that was a huge part for me. Like, again, it was a memory. Like the memories behind the mugs. While the mugs are great themselves, it's the memories that come along with them.
Yeah, good memories.
Her Horny
good
Devil
times,
mug.
good
Again, that
times.
was her first mug. So
My first.
to sit there, and we would bring that to Saratoga Coffee Traders, and she would get her special Death Wish hot chocolate, as they called it, down there.
Nice.
And I got to drink my coffee, and it's like home to me.
That's awesome.
The people in
Death
general
Wish
are home to
coffee
me.
brings people together.
Commercial.
There you go.
I like it. I wanted to touch on real quick too. You do a lot with the Special Olympics, and so you've gotten kind of Death Wish to help that as well with our different events like Run Dead and that kind of thing. Do you have events planned this year that you're a part of? That you can talk of, or?
I got a lot of events.
Because I know you're constantly doing stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot. I do a lot with a lot of organizations. That's kind of my way of just staying in touch with the community.
Yep.
Run Dead's coming up. I don't want to step on Carolyn or anybody's feet. That looks like it's going to be. They're changing it up a little bit this year.
Yep.
Different theme, different kind of way of going about it. I've got the torch run coming up on Friday, which is also ties in. I'll be in uniform that day.
Oh, cool.
So I do a lot, and I have done a lot since I was her age. I did it a lot in grade school, and it's been a program that's always stuck with me. There are a lot of other charities out there. Yeah, like you, exactly. Ricky's Ride comes through, and Gail. It's great. Another thing with the community is I see so many people getting involved, and the pay it forward, and to me that has always been a great thing that was in the community, but it has spanned out even farther than I could even imagine. So it's great, and I get somebody that'll send me a message. It's a community where we've all come together. Everything from recovering addicts, people from all walks of life, from poor to the top of the top, and everybody wants to give ideas, and it's a great coming together. Just I push for that every day. I try to be as positive, and especially with what I do for a living, I see the worst of the worst. But
I'm the best of the best.
You heard it first.
That. I like that.
But that's it. We do, and with all the charities and everything, I'll get a call. That's how Kane last year. Hey, I made you the captain of the team again this year. By the way, it started last week. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
And I was working. I was actually at the state fair. I do, which is good. State fair is again where I've got a lot of our troopers drinking Death Wish on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was definitely 120,000 to 160,000 people all in one area. Turns out to be a good place to get everybody together for coffee in the morning. Again, we're working long hours.
Totally.
I'd be tired.
Yeah.
I mean, I've stayed up since like 7 in the morning before when my friend and I have sleepovers. So, I mean, I'm hyper. Simple as that.
You don't even need coffee.
Don't even need coffee.
Nope. I basically have sugar for blood.
That's really good to know. Okay, so finally then, you both have seen this company grow. You both seen a lot of what we've done. I want to ask you, Kirra, what's your favorite thing that Death Wish Coffee has done? Maybe something that we produced or something that we've been a part of?
Well, I like the mugs.
You love the mugs.
I love the mugs, but I think the podcast is really good because it lets people know about the company and stuff.
And now you're a part of it.
Yes, I am. Finally.
That's cool. So on you then, what's something that we haven't done that you'd like to see us do?
It
could be a mug idea.
That's
it
a
could
good
be
question.
an event. It could be for you too. If there's an idea that you haven't seen us do that you'd like to see us try, piece of merchandise.
Mug ideas.
I know we've talked, Mike, John. I think at one point we've all talked about it. Trying to get everybody together.
Like an event.
Right. Like an event. I know Carolyn wanted to talk about maybe getting some rooms for people that were doing the fundraiser for Run Dead this year, and having like the night before having like a get together.
Yeah.
And just where we all come together and kind of do our thing. I've been to many events, especially with a lot of us from being local, and seeing everybody in the different elements, and it's great. And I would love for other people to see that, and for them to realize it's not just a company. It's not.
It's a family.
I couldn't say it better myself.
Basically, it brings people together like the family.
Aw, I love it. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming in and being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's a double Death Star of the week. It's our first one ever, which is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna finally surprise you at the end of this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
We're getting surprised.
She is.
Oh, thank you.
That's for your mug collection, Kirra.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here, we'll show it to the camera. There you go.
Beautiful.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks a bunch, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
The Fueled by Death guest.
All right, so this week we have musician, singer-songwriter Beans on Toast.
Look,
on the
he's
show.
not even wearing any shoes.
I know.
That's how much he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We had a great time talking with him on the recent Salty Dog cruise put out by the band Flogging Molly. If you guys haven't heard about us talk about this yet, you can check out our Before You Die awesome full episode that just chronicles all of the fun we had on that cruise. Or you can check out last week's podcast, which featured a couple of the members from Flogging Molly talking about the inception of the cruise and what it's like to do that every year. But we got to talk with this guy whose real name is Jay. And like you said, Dustin, one of the coolest things is he has had a successful career up to this point, but he just has this air about him where it's just like, I just don't care.
I always find it very interesting when you get unconventional success like this.
Mm-hmm.
When you take, somebody who's a musician and you think of a successful musician as somebody who's hitting the road really hard, working really hard, figuring out this and that and trying really hard and trying to look really good all the time. This is not that guy. He's the complete polar opposite. I mean, he really just, there's zero fucks in this dude.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing to talk to him and figure out, well, here's the coolest thing. There's not one way to success. There are many different avenues, and the most important thing is find out what you are like and approach success in that manner. Because that's what this guy did, and it's worked out for him wonderfully. He seems like he's extremely happy doing what he's doing, and I think anything else would have made him unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Even if he did the try hard, try to look good, try to be that vain musician type. He would just, even if he was successful, he would fail because that's not him and he wouldn't be happy doing it. He's killing it right now.
Yeah, he really is. And so we talk about how he got into the business. We talk about how his career has led him to playing the Salty Dog cruise. And it was great because we didn't even know really going in what to expect. And he played a couple shows on the cruise, and every single one, it's that infectious singer-songwriter, storyteller aesthetic that he does. And everybody on that cruise knew the words, sung along, danced along. It was just so much fun. And we hope you guys have a lot of fun listening to that episode, which premieres tomorrow. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek of Beans on Toast right here.
Like I said, I was living above a venue in Holloway Road called Nambucca.
Yeah.
It was like a pub. 11 of us lived there. A venue downstairs, and it was like, it wasn't like a squat, but it might as well have been. No one had seen the owner for like 2 years.
Typical artist household. I'm assuming it was
like,
all
yeah,
like
exactly.
artists
It's
and musicians.
One of them spots, exactly. And from that,
Jeff and I are very familiar with those spots.
Oh, yeah. lived in one for a very long time. Yeah.
and it's like, I guess like that was where I started doing the Beans and Toast stuff and kind of wrote the first album there. And Frank Turner used to drink there, basically.
Oh, shit.
And so from the gigs there, he used to come and play there. They used to come and play Neil Young covers when he was in Million Dead, on the sly. He'd come and do his little Neil Young covers. And then it was, and then he'd fucking started saying, I've got some other tunes. And it was just like, bang. And his first tour, he took me on the first tour and it was like, okay, saw a little bit about, and then it was like Beans on Toast kind of turned into a thing.
Happy birthday. Surprise! I'm naked.
All right, guys, so we got some birthdays this week, just like every week, and we got two on Thursday, June 21st. The first one of my favorite actors, Chris Pratt, is turning 39 years old. What a hell of a year he's having this year.
Yeah, man, I love his attitude.
Yeah.
He's like, they have set him up as this like very built, very athletic, star of the movie, the hero.
Yeah.
But he kind of seems like it might be tough to get him out of bed in the morning because he's just a dude. He's just a dude being a dude.
He lived in his van in Hawaii for a while before he ever got discovered, and then he finally got discovered, did a couple roles, and then finally landed one of my favorite roles he did, which was that playing Andy Dwyer on Parks and Rec. And as you can see, he was a schlub back then, and he got through the luck of the draw, got cast as Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, now actually in Avengers Infinity War, on screen with 60 other A-list stars out there. And he's the lead in Jurassic World and the new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is just about to come out. And I remember when he kind of went into that transition, it happened on the show. And, like, they came back for, like, season 6, and he was like, he looked different.
Yeah,
'cause he was in shape. And they made a joke about it. He was trying to become a police officer on the show, so that's why they made the joke about it. But he joked about it on the late night shows, and he was just like, I like looking good and feeling better, and being, much more, active and stuff like that. He's like, but I miss beer and I miss cheeseburgers, because that was my life, was just beer and cheeseburgers. And, like, he cut those out to get the physique that he has. But he seems like such a down-to-earth dude. He seems like such a great guy, and I love him as Star-Lord.
Yeah, I think he trains with the Caveman Coffee crew out there.
I think he does.
Yeah, with those guys, and they put him to work, man.
Yeah.
He works hard, and damn, he's done a good job looking like a big buff dude. He's great, man. I love it. I love it.
So happy birthday to him on Thursday. Also on Thursday, a very happy birthday to Juliette Lewis. Juliette Lewis is an actress who's been around the block for a little bit here. She was in one of my favorite movies of all time, Cape Fear. She was also the daughter in Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, with Chevy Chase. But one of my favorite movies, and should be one of your favorite movies, opposite Woody Harrelson, she was in Natural Born Killers. One of the best Tarantino movies, in my opinion.
And she was just great. She was psycho in that.
Psycho in that.
Awesome.
She was so good in that movie. But also, a little known fact about Juliette is she's a musician as well. She she splits her time between solo, kind of doing her own solo thing, and also doing her band Juliette and the Licks. And Dustin and I actually got to see her perform at Riot Fest in 2016 with her band, and it was awesome.
Dude, she's rock and roll. I love it. She does so good.
So good. She's got a hell of a voice on her, and she knows how to be a front woman.
Yeah.
She just commands that crowd from start to finish.
She's great.
So
she's the real deal.
The real deal. So a happy birthday to her. On Friday, June 22nd, the iconic Meryl Streep is going to be 69 years old. She has 20 Oscar nominations in her career. That's more than any other actor or actress in the history of film. And she has won 3 times for Sophie's Choice, for The Iron Lady as Margaret Thatcher, and also for Kramer vs. Kramer. But she's been in so many amazing movies. Like, here she is opposite De Niro in Deer Hunter. She was also in the very successful Devil Wears Prada. She was in Into the Woods, the musical that starred, I think, every star ever in 2011. So her career spans everything. She's been on the stage. She's been on television. She's in that Big Little Lies on HBO now. She's been on the silver screen, winning Oscars left and right. She's a national treasure, people. Meryl Streep, 69 years old.
It's crazy, dude.
It's crazy.
Such a huge body of work. I think I've seen one of her movies. Like everything listed on here, I'm pretty sure I've only seen Deer Hunter, and that
Deer
was
Hunter
a long
is
time ago.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see Iron Lady because I'm very curious. I love biop pieces where, actors and actresses play real people, and I think Meryl Streep as Margaret Thatcher, I think it is just a perfect match. I really want to see that movie, and I won an Oscar. She won an Oscar for it, so it's got to be good. So a very happy birthday to her. Finally, on Monday, June 25th, I want to bring this up. It would have been the birthday of Anthony Bourdain. We just lost Anthony to suicide, and it's still very fresh in my mind. I, like many people, took to Anthony because he was somebody I could relate to. He, had a career born from the bottom. He was a drug addict. He was someone who had no direction in life and couldn't get a break. And after an incredible piece that he wrote for the New York Times, I think in 1999, he started to generate this career that spanned multiple TV shows, multiple books, and just a positive message. He seemed like he had his thumb on the pulse of the world and knew how to just spin a positive message into everything. And one of my favorite episodes, actually, I have a photo of this, is when Queens of the Stone Age
That's the
visited
Christmas
him
special.
for
Yeah.
a Christmas special. This was no reservations. In fact, a friend of the show, Joey Castillo, was part of the band at that point. And
There is another episode of, I think it was No Reservations, where he goes out to Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Which was amazing as well. And
Yeah.
he's hanging out with Josh Homme, going to weird places, going
Yeah.
to weird sales. It's a really great, really great. I mean, everything he made was so magically, visually artistic and well thought out and amazing. And the thing that surprises everybody is that he seemed like he had everything.
Yeah.
You know, he extremely one of the most successful people we know.
Yeah.
Period. Beautiful women, beautiful life, beautiful food. And usually when I think about, dealing with depression, the way I deal with it is being very active in either jujitsu or strength and conditioning work. And that's what this guy did every day. He lived and died for jujitsu on his last few years on this world. And I think it just surprised everybody because it's like, what else do you need to deal with depression like this?
It's always surprising.
And here's the thing that's always tough with people in those situations. They feel like they can't talk about it to anybody, where they don't even have the right to complain because everything's great, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of talking about it, instead of venting to somebody because they're embarrassed or ashamed, they hold it in until it's too late. And that's why we wanted to bring attention to the suicide prevention hotline here, because there always is somebody to talk to, even if you may not want to talk to somebody because you might be embarrassed or ashamed. And so we have avenues like this that you can reach out to, and there are experts that you can talk to that can help you through these situations, and that's why these things exist.
Yeah, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, as I've had the number up here, is 1-800-273-8255. And, it's always, too, it's just in this world where we're all attached to our phones and social media and we lose the art of actual human-to-human conversation, we need to get back to that. We need to, check on your friends, check on your family, be attentive, be aware, be there for everybody. And hopefully, you can put an end to this kind of thing. Suicide is a real thing, and it's always terrible. We not only lost Anthony recently, we lost designer Kate Spade, and obviously most famously a couple years ago we lost Robin Williams to a very surprise as well. So I just wanted to wish Anthony a happy birthday because it's still fresh in our hearts and our minds that we lost somebody so important to the world, and it's because he felt he couldn't live in it anymore, and that's a shame.
There's always options, people.
Yeah.
There's always options. You just need to talk it out.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you don't feel like there's anybody you can talk to, that's why there's hotlines like this that you can talk to somebody that cares. That's why they're there. They wouldn't be there unless they wanted to help somebody, and they're there because they want to help you, and they're on call for that exact reason. So, use that if you feel a need to, for sure.
For sure.
I smell a roast.
Uh-oh.
Does it smell like lightly roasted shitty coffee?
Sure does. And right before we get to that, guys, I just want to let you know, if you're watching this show live yet again, all you got to do is share the show, drop a comment in the awesome comment section, either below here or on the side, however you're watching it, and we're going to pick one lucky comment at the end of the show to win this mug. It's a 2018 Death Wish Hammer mug. We love this mug. We'll send it right out to you. We'll sign the bottom. It's that easy. Just want to throw that out there. But I wanted to bring something up on the roast this week that's been making me angry. So angry for the last couple months. And this is it. I don't want this to devolve into a shitstorm against this company because they do good things, even though they've been in the news lately for some pretty shitty things. But I do want to call attention to this one marketing campaign, and it is Starbucks' Blonde campaign. I think this is dumb, terrible, and annoying. They debuted this in January as their Blonde Espresso. It's supposed to be a gentler, more subtle, suitable espresso for the first-time drinker in an espresso. The buzzwords they use are subtle, sweet, and roasty. Those are the buzzwords they use for it. Their tagline, as you can see, is blonde breaks rules.
That's a horrible tagline.
This is what it looks like in. Before I get to that, I want a little thing. They're actually biting on this. This is a Clairol commercial from the '60s. Okay, where Clairol, the hair dye company, in the '60s had the tagline "Blondes have more fun." If that's not a sexual '60s tag, innuendo.
There's a lot going on there. I'm having trouble unpacking this picture right here.
But this was that marketing in the '60s did great for the company. Blondes have more fun. Become a blonde, you'll have more fun. More fun. But this is the way that Starbucks is rolling it out on all of their. I see this on all their windows everywhere. Blonde breaks rules. Now, first of all,
it's bad English.
It's blonde espresso breaks rules, but they write it so damn small that it doesn't matter, especially if you're driving in your car past the Starbucks or whatever. It just looks like blonde breaks rules. I wanted to roast this because I think it's just bad marketing. First of all, they're trying to bite on this 60s marketing campaign that did well for hair color and not for coffee. They've already shown since January that this has not increased sales. In fact, their sales are down, again, to some unnamed things that they're doing that are bad, racism.
Let's just throw some sexism in there on top of that.
This is indirect sexism, I think, right? Like,
wait, what?
When you walk,
I can't unpack this, dude.
When you walk into a Starbucks, if you want to order this is how because you know that Starbucks doesn't have small, medium, large.
They make you say something stupid?
Hi, I'd like a tall blonde, please. Like, that's kind of wrong, right? Doesn't that, I don't know.
Okay, why does blonde break rules, Jeff? Why is that a stigma that blonde girls break rules?
Not really.
Where's that
stigma,
coming from?
The old comedy, not comedy with a K, the old comedy stigma is that, the dumb blonde. How many dumb blonde jokes have you heard?
So where is this coming from? Blonde breaks rules.
Blondes have more fun. That's where they're porting that from. They're taking that 60s mentality, that hair color mentality.
It's a reach, dude.
It's a reach.
It's bad.
And on top of it, as we can kind of talk a little bit more on this, what they're really trying to do with this marketing campaign is kind of get their fingers into that third wave coffee culture. That Death Wish coffee. Hi guys, that's what we like our culture. They're trying to be like, oh, for the connoisseur of coffee, here's a blonde espresso. Here's something different. Here's something new for you third wavers out there. And almost unequivocally across the board, if you do a short Google search of reviews of this coffee, like all those third wavers, bloggers out there and everything are like, don't get it. There's nothing worth it.
Here's the thing. There's this whole third wave light roast thing going through right now, but I've looked at the studies. I've seen the numbers. Americans want dark roasted coffee.
They do.
Because it tastes better.
They do.
It tastes better.
That's why companies like...
It tastes like coffee.
That's why companies like... I use this example a lot, too. A company around here, Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, one of their most successful blends is literally called Dark Magic. Because they lean into that because they know that's what the consumers want.
Here's the thing. If you think of a cup of coffee... And if you think of the flavor of a cup of coffee, that's that typical thought. It's going to be a dark roast coffee.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not shitting on a lighter roast coffee.
No, not at all.
They have their time and place.
Not at all.
And I like to try them.
Yeah.
And there are some that are so unique and cool. Some that have tasted like hot cider to me.
Mm-hmm.
So weird. But honestly, a commercially made light roast coffee sounds like the worst idea in the world. You're going to get inconsistencies.
Yeah.
You're going to get weird flavors from that. I mean, light roasted coffee gets weird unless you do it right. I doubt they're doing it right.
Starbucks hasn't changed their espresso in 43 years, and now they decide to do it. And it's, like I said, the sales are not showing that it's worth it.
Well, look at the messaging. It's horrible.
Messaging is horrible. I don't think that people are going into Starbucks looking for that. I think they're, like you said, they're going into Starbucks looking for the same thing they'd go into if they're going into their local coffee shop or the little off-the-beaten-path coffee shop. They're looking for that good, dark cup of coffee,
Yeah.
Or the other side of Starbucks, and I'm not going to get into this, but the other side of Starbucks is the most sugary drink you've ever had in your entire life, like that unicorn poop thing they did, which it's not my cup of tea, but their sales do great with that. I get it. Go for it.
People love sugar. Big surprise.
Yep, go for it. That's a roast for a different time. But I just don't. I think that this is a misstep, and I think they should stop.
Oh, it's obviously a misstep.
I think
they're
they
not.
should
They're not
stop.
making a dime off this.
Yeah. I just don't
The
get
messaging
it.
just bugs me out so much, man.
Have any of you guys tried it? And again, I'm not bad-mouthing Starbucks. I've been known to go into a Starbucks and order coffee from time to time because you're on the road
Hey,
and it's there.
I'm gonna badmouth Starbucks. I've never had a cup of coffee from Starbucks and went, oh wow, this is surprisingly good.
Right.
Not once in my life.
Me
I
either.
go, oh wow, this is burnt more than usual. That's
than
usually
usual.
what I get.
Yeah, it's very acidic.
How are they gonna do a good blonde roast?
I don't know. I'm curious. As much as I want to roast this because I hate it, I am curious. I have been thinking about maybe even trying it just to see, because that's what these roasts do. Is it's funny, just to give you guys a little bit of insight. We'll roast something on this show, and then we'll talk about it incessantly within the office over the next week or so. It happened just a couple weeks ago when we roasted IHOP.
That was last week, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we roasted IHOP. We talked about how they're going all in on burgers. We talked about it for days to the point that a bunch of us in the marketing side over in the office were like, okay, fine, we're going. And we went, and I tried a burger, and it was terrible. Don't do it. But so this might actually turn into me going into a Starbucks to order it just so I can figure out what is in this cup that they really want me to break all the rules for. Again, I think with any business, it's twofold. You want to come out with a good product, but you want to market that product well. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of the third wave bloggers and stuff like that, this isn't a great product. And their marketing, as you can see, is dog shit. I just don't understand the mentality behind it. I think they should stop annoying us with your blonde mentality and your indirect sexism.
It's just
Starbucks.
always upsetting when advertising makes you feel dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of advertising does. And it's so refreshing to get good advertising where it's like, oh, hey, they thought about that. That's clever. That's
Yeah.
great. This is none of that. This is not clever.
Nope.
This is a reach. It's stupid English.
Yeah.
It's a stupid idea. Like you said, it's indirectly sexist.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to get all up in arms about that. But
Yeah, but we are in a...
It kind of seems like they're trying to market towards women, but instead they're insulting them.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Stop it, Starbucks.
Roasted.
D-Man's Death Wish Update. Brought to you by Death Wish Coffee.
Okay, D-Man. Update time. I want to kick it off by talking a little bit about some website stuff that we've been doing. One thing that you guys have been looking for that we're really excited is finally live. We're updating it all the time, so be patient because it was something we literally had to create from the ground up. But we have a store locator now. Now that we're getting into so much retail across the nation, we've got this handy dandy store locator where you can go type in your zip code and it will tell you within a mile radius of all the stores around you that carry Death Wish coffee. And I got the URL right up here. It's deathwishcoffee.com/stores. And it's really cool. When you populate it, which is fun, we've got this little store locator icons that have our logo on it that Thomas Dragonetti created. But like I said, we had to have web designers design this app specifically to work with our Shopify store to get it up and running. So we do apologize that it wasn't up and running as soon as we were in stores, and we're adding to it all the time. So this is something that you should bookmark on your web browser and constantly be looking at, because in your area, more and more stores will start carrying Death Wish coffee. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Another thing on the web that we've been kind of going all in on is recipes. We've been shooting some new recipe videos, and we've been doing some recipes for two reasons. One, coffee is a great thing to cook with, to bake with, whether it's a dry rub for your steak or you use some iced coffee in your brownie, you know, as the liquid or whatever. There's all sorts of applications to cook with coffee. So we really want to kind of lean into that. Also, alcoholic drinks are a lot of fun too. Which
I wouldn't know anything about that.
We're going to start doing those as well. But the other reason is that a lot of companies are starting to get into that game because people love the internet now because it teaches you anything.
Yeah.
And I love being able to I wonder how to make this dish that I've never made before, you know, and you can literally find 100 videos on the internet to help you make that dish. So we kind of wanted to get in that game as well. So now if you go on over, I'll put the URL right here for deathwishcoffee.com/blogs/recipes. We've got this landing page now that's going to have all of our recipes. Only got a few up there now, but we're going to start adding to that all the time. Again, another one that you're going to want to bookmark and keep coming back to and try all these awesome recipes. We've been doing a lot of dessert drinks lately, which is really fun but really filling because then we either make a mistake, so then we have to drink the mistake, or we make it great, and then we have to drink the great one. So it's like...
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not involved in these. I wouldn't be able to keep it together.
Oh, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
How's a microwave brownie? Is that any good?
I got to tell you, I used to be a cook, so I know my way around a kitchen, but baking has never been my forte. I'm terrible at baking. This is the easiest thing in the world. I couldn't believe how easy it was.
Aren't you going to fuck up your mug a little bit? Get,
no.
Caked up brownie on the rim?
No, because our mugs are dishwasher safe anyways. So, you eat it all up. You wash it out a little bit, put it in your dishwasher. Good to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's delicious. We did 2 versions of that. One normal and one where we used coffee flour, which you can find online now.
How was that?
It's flour made from the coffee fruit. It makes it more denser, more
filling, probably
more chewy, more
that sounds
moist.
Great.
It's great because not only do you add you substitute some of the coffee flour for your normal flour, you also add a little bit more liquid because again it makes it more denser, so you need a little bit more of the liquid, which is iced coffee, which is great. And then you substitute the white sugar in your recipe for brown sugar.
Ooh.
So everything just becomes that sticky, delicious. It was so good. I cannot recommend it enough. So go on over, check out that recipe, make one for yourself.
Right in the microwave.
Right in the microwave.
Gross.
So freaking easy. Finally on the internet, wanted to bring up, don't forget, I know you're not forgetting, we are going to space. Deathwishcoffee.com/space is your window to everything that we're doing involving this awesome thing. And I wanted to tell you guys that NASA, after we knew that we were going to be on this rocket, the CRS rocket, Mission 15, the SpaceX rocket, rocketing up June 29th, NASA put out this open call application for social media users because they want social media users with unique avenues and unique fan bases to come down. They wanted to pick 40 of them to come down and tour the facility, go to the launch area, and then view the launch. So I put in an application and they picked me.
Wow.
Which is so cool. So next week I'm going to be going down to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And I'm going to get to meet the NASA social team. I'm going to be able to tour the facility. I'm going to actually go see the rocket right on the launch pad. And then
that's too close, Jeff.
Yeah. And then in the morning on June 29th, I'm going to see the rocket launch. And we're going to do a ton of fun stuff. Again, keep going over to deathwishcoffee/space, and we'll let you know about all that stuff. We're going to have a viewing party that morning. I know it's early, but we're going to have a viewing party to watch our coffee rocket into space. I'm probably going to do some sort of Facebook Live or Instagram Live call in while I'm down in Florida to you guys watching in here. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to meet up with our good friend Nicole Stott while I'm down there and meet some other people. And I'm going to be doing all sorts of social posts those days from the Death Wish Coffee social pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those types of things. And you'll be able to find, again, all that information right on this homepage. I'm so excited. I really am, guys. It's a dream come true to see a rocket into space. Finally, tomorrow on the update, we wanted to let you guys know tomorrow it's here. Industrial mug. There it is. It's coming out. Get ready for it, guys. It is tomorrow. Now I want to just run down some of our mug release stuff. Today, you guys might have heard that subscribers got to get this mug today on Wednesday. And we've been doing that all the time now. So that's another incentive to become of our subscription program, because not only do you get all the discounts, all the freebies, all the cool stuff for being a subscriber, but you get to get our mugs a day early.
Which is a giant advantage because these things sell out quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're a subscriber, you don't even have to worry.
Yeah.
You know, you can pretty much show up at 8 o'clock on Wednesday and still get a mug.
Yeah.
Which, who knows, noon on Thursday, it might be out.
Right.
Which has happened many times before.
Right.
So being a subscriber gives you a leg up on that. It takes the stress off the situation because you can just be like, all right, day before, sometime in the day, I'm going to go in there and order this, which is great. But we also have a text line in case you aren't a subscriber, which is you text mugs to 4848
right here. And yeah, that text message will come if you are not a member of it already. Text it right now. Text mugs to 484848, and then tomorrow morning when these mugs go live to everybody, you will get a text message in your phone with a link to buy right there. It's that easy. But yeah, become a subscriber, subscribe to the newsletter, get on that text message, and you'll never miss a mug release.
Yeah. And this is a super limited mug.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. We're really excited about it.
God damn, that denim is so cool.
Denim.
It looks like it's about to go work on the factory floor and
yeah,
do its thing.
Yeah.
Get shit. This mug looks like it's going to get shit done, and you can get shit done with this mug.
Damn right. I'm so excited. So tomorrow, guys, make sure you're there for that mug release, and you won't be left out. And I think
that's it for now.
That's it for now.
We got a lot of stuff coming, but we don't want to overload you. I know the space thing's very exciting, and the whole mug release. And I know you just got the Barrel brand, which is great.
Yeah.
That sold incredibly well. And
Yes.
if you didn't get that, I'm sorry. Every time we release that, it's super limited. It's super difficult to make. There's no such thing as mass producing a fine product like this. So it always sells out. Sorry if you missed out, but stay tuned in this show and other avenues like our newsletter in order to keep your finger on the pulse and get updated with all the cool things that we come out with all the time.
Yes. And that's the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, sharing, liking, commenting. Yet again, we will pick one lucky comment at the end when we sign off that will win this Death Wish 2018 Hammer mug that will be signed by D-Man and myself. I want to let you guys know I still don't know my timeline for next week. So we will have a show. I'm just not sure exactly if it's going to come out, if I'm going to be around on Wednesday or not. So we'll have to talk, and you and I will have to coordinate how we're going to do
Bringing this up now in front of everybody?
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I'm going down Wednesday, if we're going down Thursday for the launch. But I'll keep you guys all informed on that. Also, make sure you're going to deathwishcoffee.com/space for all of that news on how you can watch it live with us, how you can, experience all this kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm so freaking excited about that, to go to NASA. It's going to be, you could care less. It looks like.
I'm giving the Bill Clinton thumbs up. How could you not be more excited than that?
I guess, okay, I got it. Okay. A presidential thumbs up from D-Man. I like it. I like it. One last time, guys, if you guys want to follow us on social media, it's really easy. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
And don't forget to follow Death Wish Coffee online as well, at Death Wish Coffee. Very easy. And tune in tomorrow for our awesome interview with singer-songwriter and musician Beans on Toast. It's a great interview, guys. We recorded it right on the ship on the Salty Dog cruise, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that. And then we will see you next week. Get ready, because we're going to space next week. Can't wait. Can't wait, guys.
It's only, you can only give a little bit.
And
you got to push it forward at you. Thumbs up. There you go.
All right.
Now you're Bill Clinton.
I now am Bill Clinton. Awesome. Okay, guys. Once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Death Wish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.